Have you ever poured your soul into a killer animated fight only to watch your viewers just disappear after the first minute? It's a huge problem, but it's usually not about your animation. See, there's a secret to matchmaking that can make or break everything. Today, we're going to break down the formula for creating those legendary battles that are literally impossible to click away from.
This quote right here just absolutely nails it. Choosing the wrong characters is the silent killer of your audience's attention. I mean, we've all been there, right? You hook them with an awesome concept, and then, poof, they're gone. It's almost always because the fundamental matchup was flawed right from the get-go. And look, this isn't just about a boring fight. It's about losing your audience before the story even gets a chance to start.
So let's really dig into this. What is the #1 mistake that creators make when they're staging these massive crossover fights? It almost always comes down to one single, very common misunderstanding about what we, the audience, actually want to see. You know, our first instinct is always to make things fair. We want to balance the power levels perfectly, make it feel like a real, even contest. But here's the crazy truth. That's a trap. When everything is perfectly matched, there's no mystery, there's no real tension. The fight just becomes a math problem. And believe me, predictability is the ultimate enemy of keeping people watching. Okay, just look at this breakdown. On one side, you've got your fair fight. Equal power, a predictable outcome. And let's be honest, it's kind of boring. But on the other side, a truly legendary fight thrives on imbalance. It creates a high-stakes mystery. This completely changes the audience's question from a simple "who will win" to a much more interesting "how could they possibly win?" And that right there, that's the secret sauce to an unforgettable battle. So, if a fair fight is the problem, then what's the solution? Well, lucky for us, there's a proven system for this. A framework that's basically designed to build drama and tension right from the very first frame. It's called the Taming the Beast formula.
The whole thing, and I mean the entire formula, hinges on this one powerful idea: power asymmetry. You just stop trying to match strength with strength. Instead, you frame the whole fight as a problem and a solution. The problem is this uncontrollable primal force. Think of it like a hurricane with fists. And a solution? It's a specialized tactical scalpel, sent in to deal with a threat that brute force could never, ever hope to conquer.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we put this principle in practice? Well, it all starts with choosing the right fighters. You need two very specific archetypes that are basically two sides of the same incredibly awesome coin. And here they are, the Berserker and the Tactical. The Berserker is your unstoppable force, that primal rage that is, for all intents and purposes, the problem. And the Tactical is your immovable object, that specialized asset who is the solution. This classic mismatch is just engineered for instant conflict. So first, let's break down the Berserker. Listen, this isn't just a strong character. This is a walking, talking force of nature. Their power is all about pure, escalating, uncontrollable rage. They're an environmental threat. I mean, the ground literally cracks when they fight. People looking on don't see a person. They see a monster. They're just pure chaos that you simply can't reason with. This quote illustrates the Berserker's impact perfectly. And think about who's saying this. It's not some random person on the street. It's trained military. When the professionals, the ones with the training and the gear, are screaming retreat, the audience immediately gets just how massive this threat is. All standard procedures have officially gone out the window. So who do you send in when standard procedure fails? You send in the Tactical. This is your elite asset. They don't win by trying to match the Berserker's rage. They win by using a unique, specialized capability. Their entire job is to just endure the storm and figure out how to strategically solve the problem of the beast. Now this is a perfect example of a specialized capability. This isn't just about being tough. This character has a very specific, almost surgical skill, a metallic arm that can deflect bullets and bend rifles. That tells the audience they are uniquely equipped for this otherwise impossible mission. It's not about brute force, it's about having the right tool for the job.
Okay, so you've got your fighters, the primal beast versus the tactical solution. But a great fight needs more than just a good matchup. You have to constantly be raising the stakes to keep the audience glued to the screen.
Building tension has to be systematic. You start with a hook, like an empty, ruined city, that immediately makes you ask, what the heck happened here? Then you have to show the power. Don't just tell us about it. Don't say they're strong. Have their fight cause actual earthquakes. And finally, you add a moral ticking clock. Now all of a sudden, the hero isn't just fighting to survive, they're racing against time to stop a catastrophe.
And this is what happens when you raise the stakes the right way. It stops being a simple one-on-one fight. The battle itself becomes the villain. When the fight is shaking the whole continent, the stakes have just skyrocketed from personal survival to like a global disaster. The hero now has a moral duty to find a solution, and fast.
So this brings us to the final and maybe the most important piece of the whole formula, the ending. A legendary fight needs a legendary ending, and trust me, it's not about who lands the final punch.
The most satisfying endings, the ones that really stick with you, they pivot from the physical to the emotional. The goal is no longer to just beat the berserker. The real payoff is that moment of realization when our hero looks past the raging monster and sees the strength, the will, maybe even the humanity inside the beast.
And this is the turning point. This is the whole climax of the Taming the Beast formula. The Tactical's mission was to neutralize a monster, but after surviving the storm, they've reached a completely new understanding. This one line, "You are not a monster," it totally reframes the entire conflict. It validates the opponent, and it delivers a narrative punch that is way more powerful than any physical hit could ever be.
And this is the perfect follow-up. It does two brilliant things. First, it establishes mutual respect. The fight's over, but a bond has been forged. And second, from a creator's point of view, it strategically leaves the door wide open for a sequel, a full version, or a remastered cut. It's a promise to the audience that this incredible story isn't over yet.
So, there you have it, the formula for a legendary crossover. You've got power asymmetry, the berserker versus the tactical, constantly escalating stakes, and an ending built on mutual respect. The only question left is, who are you going to choose for your battle? Who is your unstoppable primal force? Who is your beast?